Hello class, this is a continuation of the tutorial for elevations, week 6. So we have our shape of our house, have a couple windows, have a door in here. The porch, as we see from this elevation, front porch, 6 inches below the first floor. So we can do that in a few different ways. I might copy my first floor line down 6 inches, and then another 1.5 inches for decking. Trim that out of this side. Okay, so that's the floor of our porch. Next we would put columns, and we have wood posts here. We have a 1/2 post at the wall. I'm using construction line again, vertical. And I'm bringing vertical projection lines down from my plan. Using trim. I'm going to trim them out from the first floor. Now where are they? Right, where's the height of these things? So if we look at this, we'll have a better idea when we draw the side elevation, but just for starters, from the porch floor to the bottom of the beam is 8'2". So back here, I might take the porch floor, copy this up, 8'2", which is also 98 inches. Then I'm going to use that line to trim the post out on top. I'm going to get rid of this line so it doesn't confuse me. All right, so now I'm going to jump over to the other elevation, this one. So we're going to draw it from this side now. So what I'm going to do, we'll copy the floor plans over. I'm going to copy the first floor plan over and rotate it so the kitchen is facing down the page. This is the elevation we're drawing, so we're going to stand here and look at the house that way. We'll copy the second floor, rotate it. Not sure if I got all of that. That's a clockwise, 90 degrees rotation. Then, of course, we align them. I'm using vertical construction line here. Same exercise as before. I'm picking the corners of the building to use and ensure that these plans are aligned. So now I'm moving this one over. Alright, and I have enough room to draw this in here. Now, looking at this elevation, drawing this one, we already have a good deal of information done and set up for this. We have all the horizontal lines. We have the roof peak. We have the drip edge line. And we probably have some other things that we can grab. So let's try and sort out this roof here. I'm trying to draw the roofs first. So, what am I going to do? Let's see. Maybe I'll grab this, because these are the same lines. So I'm just going to copy this roof over to here. But that's not actually where that roof starts. So that roof in the back goes from here to here. The ridge runs this way on this section of the house. So let's see what the overhang is. Looking at a big overhang, 30 inches, 2'6" here, 2'6" here. So this is the wall beyond. This is the wall beyond, the wide part of the house. So let's go back here. So this is that wall, and this is that wall, represent the wider part of the 2-story. I'm going to offset those 30 inches. One goes this way, towards the outside. So what I'm setting up is the edge of my roof. There it is. So I'm going to use extend. Then trim. This is not, okay, here we go. So I'm going to trim this. This is the wall of the back section of the house. This is the wall of the front section. I might trim this like this. So the roof is going to go here. We know that it's an 11.5 pitch, but I also know that, so I'm drawing a center line across this part of the house, right here. So what do I know about this roof? That this roof goes to the top of this roof, right? They align. And so does the drip edge. So now I want the overhang. What's the overhang distance here? Let's say this is a foot. It looks like about a foot. Going back to the elevation, I'm going to offset this wall line 1 foot. And I'm going to bring this up to the drip edge. So there's essentially where the valley happens. And there's the peak. Right, I'm going to offset that 12 inches. And now we start to see the shape of this roof take place. This wall will come up to meet the rafter. This line gets pulled back, so that's that condition right there. You'll see that I drew a center line. I'm a fan of symmetry and mirroring things in the spirit of saving time. There's that. We have a little have some line maintenance to do over here. This will come back. So one thing, if you see this gap here, that could cause problems while hatching. So I'm just going to make sure this is closed up. See this? This could cause undesirable hatch effects. So we want all these boundaries to be cleaned up, cleared up. All right, so here it is. That's the shape. That's the shape of the house. My grade line, I'm going to trim this out of here. Next up, you'll do the same exercise for the windows, but then we have the porches. Right, here's the porch floor from the other elevation, so I'll just copy that over. Each time, see what you can copy or use that you've drawn. Right, there's the porch floor. Now maybe we'll bring down a post. Right there. We set the height at 8'2", top of the post over here. So I'll just use a line from there. Right, here's my post. So this exercise is simply projecting lines horizontally and vertically to get the shape that you want. So we have a header on top of there that support these rafters. So it's a 10-inch beam or header. Then we got a 3.5 pitch roof, 16-inch overhang. This is what I'm going to work on now. So from here, I'm going to put the beam a 1/2 inch over the post, whether it's trimmed out in wood or whatever. We like to cover the posts with the beam, keep water out of the top of the post, and it's a nice look, in my opinion. So there it is, 10 inches tall. We have a 16-inch overhang. So I'm just going to start a line and go out 16 and draw a line vertically up. So this line represents my fascia board. Rafter's probably going to start here. So how I get that slope is I'm going to go up 3.5 inches over 12 inches. Oop, I missed it a little bit. And then there's my slope triangle, right? That gives me the angle of the roof. I'm going to use a construction line now. 2 clicks, right? Anywhere along there. Now I'm done with this. I mean, I could use this as an annotation up here and write 3.5 and 12. We'll come back to that later. So I'm going to use 8 inches for this rafter, porch rafter. All right. I'll trim it out of the house. We know this is the fascia, so I'll trim it out of there. There it is. I didn't have to really redo that. A little bit of line maintenance here. So that looks about right. There's the porch roof. You know, wouldn't be far off probably to take this whole assembly, mirror it to the other side, and see what you get. I'm not sure if it's an exact matchup, but let's see. So I'm constantly looking for ways, of course, to save time. Using mirror and things like that. So this is probably pretty close. I'll check a few more of these parameters. You can see from my drawing I'm showing an overhang here of a few inches where the return kind of comes back on the house. In reality, I don't think they built it like that, but I usually do that when building. Alright, so there's the shape of this house. You'll add windows and everything like that. So hatches. Always save your CAD drawing before we hatch. I'm going to first go to the hatch layer. Here's the hatch button. Now on the last page of your assignment from Vanco Hall, I've given you all the patterns, scales, and angles that you need to do this. For the roof, it's a standing seam metal roof. I'm going to use, this is user defined, it's called. The standing seam metal roof we did here, I think was about 20 inches, so that you'll set the scale here. This now means the lines are 20 inches apart, and the angle is 90 degrees, so these are vertical. So I'm clicking in the hatch region, and my AutoCAD immediately freezes, as that's why I recommend saving first. So my hatches should be red. It's on the wrong layer. So we'll put it to the hatch layer. Go to the hatch layer. And we always want this to say by layer. So same exercise for the walls. That's a 6-inch vertical siding. And then you have the grade. So now we come down here. You have your drawing from a week before, the floor plan. So this touches on the video I just put up for last week, making a new tab. I'm going to go down here, right click, and say move or copy, move to end, and create a copy. So it copies this entire layout over to let's see, maybe let's try that again. Right click, move or copy, create a copy, move to end. This should be now landscape 6. Oh, and it's collapsed itself. I have too many. So I could rename this, right click and rename this front elevation, or A whatever it is, A5, A105. So I know. Now I got to get the elevation in this viewport. Back here, let's see if this is locked first. So I'll click on the viewport, which is this red box. It's locked. I'm going to unlock it. Here, this tab tells me I'm in paper space. I click it to go in model space. I'm going to zoom out, find the elevation that I want to frame for this sheet, get it pretty zoomed up. Then I click paper space. It gets me out of model. We'll set the right settings for annotation and plotting. So I'm looking over here, I'm looking over here. Everything is good. I'm going to lock this. Now this is ready for printing. Don't forget the title, all hatches, and any notes that you see are all due on this drawing. Please be sure to upload it to Vanco Hall and have your prints into lab on time. Okay, I hope this helps. Feel free to email me with any questions. Thank you.